In this edition of City News, we'll see how the City of Good Neighbors has been revamped. Also, we'll take you to a 24-hour walk for a good cause. Plus, stay tuned to see how some students' dreams came true. These stories and much more coming up on City News. Hello and welcome to City News. I'm Mamdou Saleh. Change is happening in the city of Hawthorne, and one of the first major projects has been completed. Jennifer Murillo was on Hawthorne Boulevard to tell us more.
It took less than a year since its groundbreaking for the Hawthorne Improvement Mobility Project to officially be completed.
1, 2, 3. Yay!
The Boulevard improvements provides for the mobility of folks to be able to walk freely on a larger sidewalk, also ADA compliant. It provides for environmentally friendly plants, water-resistant plants.
According to officials, new parking, a city landmark, and a newly added LED sign have also helped improve the boulevard.
I've been at this and hoping to see this kind of a development on Hawthorne Boulevard for some 30 years. And it's nice to see it come to fruition.
American Asphalt and several other companies were thanked for working hard on this project and getting it finished in record time, as well as the Hawthorne Police Department, who controlled traffic and did their part to help during this major renovation.
The true genius of this is Arnie working to get those grants, so no cost to the city. And thank you to our partners in MTA, our federal partners, our county partners, our COG partners to make this all grant orientated.
Various grants funded the $12.5 million budget, including a match from Measure R, which was subsidized by the half-cent sales tax implemented in 2008.
One of our greatest funding agencies that has always been our partner, and I deeply thank them from the bottom of my heart for their trust. Metropolitan Transportation Authority, they funded, as Mr. Gutar just mentioned, almost more than half of the funding for this project.
Metro, in terms of financial resources, has contributed over $10 million in grant funds for this project, which includes $2.1 million in Proposition C funds, $7.5 million in Measure R funds. These are significant financial investments, which will enhance regional mobility and will reduce congestion along this corridor, which I'm sure all of you are happy for.
This completion is one of many projects helping move the city forward.
There's different elements that we have to be proud of and excited about is the connectivity, because we have fiber optic cables going down the boulevard that are going to allow us to have some wireless connections. And we also have the eco-friendly type of implements that we have with regards to the solar panels for the lights. And then we also have a lot of the beautification that's simply going to just bring an economic boom to the boulevard.
Going through some turmoil in terms of getting new businesses here, but now we're getting actually phone calls from quite a few businesses. They're looking forward to share our boulevard.
Mayor Chris Brown said the next step is to have council approve the free Wi-Fi project for Hawthorne Boulevard to help attract new businesses and restaurants. For HCTV, I'm Jennifer Murillo.
The completion of the boulevard joins the list of 12 projects completed with funds from Measure R. Service Provider Fair and Earth Day is an annual event meant to help Hawthorne residents. HCTV reporter Shantae Passmore has this report from Hawthorne Memorial Park.
City officials wanted to make life easier for residents when they first began to offer an annual event, Service Provider Fair and Earth Day, 6 years ago.
People are oftentimes having to call and look for resources. Why not better than to bring the resources to the people? And that's why we're here today.
There's so many services over here in Hawthorne, and this is a great way for families to know what's available.
Roughly 40 vendors participated this year, ranging from health organizations to utility companies.
You'll be able to talk to them in person and get some of the answers to your questions.
There's a whole lot of information floating around here.
Providence Little Company of Mary, the parent operator of Vasek Polak Health Clinic, performed glucose blood tests to check for diabetes.
We're also providing them a resource where they can go and get themselves checked out a little bit more in depth, and then also possibly maybe get some health education on diabetes.
Hawthorne Math and Science Academy students invited the public to learn about unconventional ways for planting.
At the fair, crowdgoers have the opportunity to make seed bombs, which is basically seeds inside of a ball made of clay. Once it rains, simply throw it into a patch of dirt and watch it grow.
The event also featured a free Subway lunch, giveaways, and Zumba. City officials and residents both say the event is also a great place to meet their fellow neighbors. For HCTV, I'm Shantae Passmore.
If you would like to participate as a vendor for next year's Service Provider Fair and Earth Day, email Councilmember Angie English at angieNglsh@yahoo.com or call 310-349-2908. California is facing one of the most severe droughts on record, and state officials are taking all necessary actions to prepare for water shortages. On April 1st, California Governor Jerry Brown issued an executive order requiring the State Water Resources Control Board to implement measures to cut the state's overall water usage. Although no specific fines are currently in place, frameworks for policies are being created to address this problem. To learn ways on how you can conserve, visit www.gswater.com/drought or www.westbasin.org. 6 years ago, Cal State Dominguez Hills began offering the Male Success Alliance program after witnessing a nationwide drop of young Black and Latino male college graduates. Reporter Shantae Passmore spoke with a Hawthorne resident who is in the program.
When Carvin Prado joined the mentoring group, Male Success Alliance, or MSA, he said he was pretty shy.
I've grown to become more confident in myself because I'm naturally a shy person. I'm timid at first.
School officials hoped the program would address problems young men of color face while in college. The program focuses on personal and professional development.
We were not going to college at the same rates as our female counterparts and white male counterparts, and we weren't. Once we got onto college campuses, we were not graduating at the same rates.
MSA project coordinator Matthew Smith said the retention rate for university students involved in the program is almost 20% higher than the general student population. The program is now offered to selected middle and high schools. During his junior year, Prado became a mentor.
Step to the line if you're multiracial. Thank you, step back. I thought about it, I was like, you know what, this would be really cool to actually give back, being able to come up and share my stories and experiences.
The male students at Gardena Environmental Charter Middle School welcomed both the program and Prado.
He's not really intimidating, so he's just like a great guy to talk to. I really don't know how to explain it because he said we're all family, so like we have to look out for each other, have everybody's back, and be real with each other.
According to Prado, reaching students early on is the best time to guide them, whether it's establishing healthy relationships or choosing a college. Thanks to MSA's impact on his life, Prado says he's just paying it forward. For HCTV, I'm Shantae Passmore.
If you're interested in learning more about Male Success Alliance, visit www.csudh.edu/MSA/. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board, along with various local business and academic representatives, welcomed 3 German dignitaries for a discussion on local manufacturing initiatives and programs. The discussion focused on trends and challenges impacting the labor force in the manufacturing industry here in the South Bay, and efforts to create a pipeline of skilled workers for the manufacturing industry. For more information on the manufacturing discussion, visit www.SBWIB.com. Coming up on City News, a group of young people get a trip of a lifetime. Also, stay tuned to see a happy ending for this Hawthorne family. Welcome back. For many years, doctors have looked for a cure for cancer. Relay for Life is a way for the community to collect funds to keep this research going. Francisco Castillo takes us to this year's event.
The annual Hawthorne Relay for Life attracts many residents and non-residents to Hawthorne High School in order to help the American Cancer Society fight cancer.
Well, today we are raising funds through teams of, you can see a lot of students and people to find a cure for cancer. Basically, that's the bottom line.
It's one of the most beautiful events here in the city of Hawthorne. Is to help fight cancer.
As people registered, groups started to put up their tents and hang pictures of their loved ones that have been affected by this disease.
Today we're gathering to honor the people that have fallen to cancer and to raise funds for those survivors.
The community comes out every year for Relay for Life of Hawthorne because we know that everyone has been touched by cancer.
During the opening ceremony, Adrienne Slaughter was invited to speak about her experience.
I lost my leg to cancer 34 years ago when I only had 1% chance of living, and I am now 100% cured.
Slaughter was an aspiring pro tennis player who refused to allow cancer to take it all away.
Was very fortunate to have faith, family, and friends. And with that, I also had the determination to get back on that tennis court.
You could not tell that she's ever gone through a lot of things. If you had just met her, she's positive, smiling, and that's the person that keeps this whole thing going.
Popular at this Relay for Life are these lanyards. For every lap that you walk, you get to collect a bead. Each bead stands for a different type of cancer. Today, I went with pink for breast cancer and red for leukemia.
They like it. They're collecting beads for people that they've lost, maybe for themselves if they're survivors, but as Adrienne mentioned in her opening speech, we've all been touched by cancer.
Last year, a member from the Go Green team impressed everyone with the amount of beads he had collected.
He did something like 32 miles. Yeah, it was outstanding.
Once the sun began to set, everyone got ready for a ceremony that paid respect to those that are no longer here.
A luminaria is basically in remembrance of past people who have passed away of cancer. That is, you will see bags that have been decorated that people have bought, and they'll line the track. They'll shut down all the lights, and only those bags will light up the track and the sign in the bandstand.
Participants say that they walk overnight because cancer never sleeps, and all they can do is keep on holding on to that one thing that keeps them walking: hope. For HCTV, I'm Francisco Castillo.
If you would like more information about the Relay for Life, visit www.relay.acsevents.org. South Bay's Experimental Aircraft Association Chapter 96 provided free airplane rides. Jennifer Murillo was at the Hawthorne Airport to tell us all about it.
30 young people between the ages of 8 through 17 got to learn about aviation at the Beach City's Aviation Academy.
I thought it would be cool to tell my friends at school.
Everyone donates their time. The pilots are donating, bring their airplanes, they pay for the fuel.
Before boarding the plane, the pilot and young eagles inspect the aircraft and learn more about it.
We want to go around and make sure that everything is just right before, and it's called a pre-flight inspection.
This Young Eagles program began in Hawthorne in 1992 and since has given rides to over 7,000 people.
When I was up there, I saw the Queen Mary, and I saw a train yard and one diesel orange train. I saw what was on the screen, and I heard what the weather was gonna be.
Having the opportunity to fly in a small plane is an experience hard to forget.
The first time you fly, everything is a lot different, because when you're in a big plane, you're like getting on a bus almost, and everybody, it's no big deal anymore. But when you're in a small plane, you really feel what it was like when aviation started out, and there's just so much excitement to being able to have the freedom to do such an incredible thing.
It was kind of scary at first, like when you start getting up in the air, it's like you can feel it in your stomach, but like once you're cruising and you see the beach, you just forget about it.
It was fun. He let me steer for like 5 minutes, and I just got to turn the plane and go up and down and do all that kind of stuff.
This nationwide program has also helped trigger the interest of many in aviation.
We now have a number of pilots who we gave rides to 10, 15 years ago who are now participating in Young Eagles and giving rides to young people.
I want to be a pilot.
My experience was great. I got to see a stadium, a golf course. I looked over the beach, and it was just fun overall.
Young Eagles coordinator Glenn Parkinson says they keep this program going because everyone always has a great time. For HCTV, I'm Jennifer Murillo.
To learn more about the Young Eagles and future programs, visit www.96dpteaachapter.org. Need a place to recycle your old used tires? A free tire recycling event will be held on Saturday, May 30th. The event will take place at the Public Works Yard at 5530 West 83rd Street from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Restrictions include no tires from businesses and no oversized or tractor tires. The event is open to all Los Angeles County residents. For more information on recycling resources, visit www.cleanla.com. Last fall, Ellen DeGeneres invited one lucky Hawthorne family on The Ellen Show. Since the airing of that show, reporter Shantae Passmore has followed up with the family.
Appearing on the Ellen DeGeneres Show changed the lives of Vanessa and Sione Gutierrez. The family became the center of attention, but not because of what they received from the generous host, but they said because of who they are as a family.
We've got we knew you guys were like this. We're just glad that people finally heard your story. It couldn't happen to better people. I've actually had faculty that I didn't even know at Hawthorne walk up to me and say, hey, thanks for doing what you're doing.
Last year, Sione became an assistant football coach for Hawthorne High, which happens to be Vanessa's alma mater, but she noticed something had changed.
We would see that the boys had no value for each other, for what the coaches would do to them, for themselves, for the other people around them. So I was like, no, that has to change.
When she was going to Hawthorne, the coaches there would actually have the team eats, parents would bring food, there would be team moms, and it'd be a nice camaraderie amongst the players.
So the assistant football coach and team mom began to offer the weekly eats.
And the change in those boys in a matter of days, it was amazing. They would sit there and hold each other to pray. They would sit there and say thank you before they wouldn't.
While the Gutierrezes were busy being teen parents, they were also busy being parents to 4 small children in a tiny apartment. Their eldest child, Jolene, had been diagnosed with infantile Batten disease.
She was born normal. She was active. She was in dance competitions and swimming and everything.
From the age of 3, Jolene experienced seizures. Later, her walking became impaired. With each test, doctors continued to misdiagnose her.
We found out what was wrong. And my husband and I, at the time, we were like so excited, like, okay, how do you fix it? You know, and they told us, I'm sorry, you can't.
Doctors told them that Jolene wouldn't see 9, but she's defied doctors' predictions by recently celebrating her 10th birthday. Despite what the family is going through, the Gutierrez family says they feel fortunate. For HCTV, I'm Shantae Passmore.
Da Vinci Science Robotics team advanced to the World Championship. Jennifer Murillo has more on their accomplishment.
FRC Team 4201 worked hours on end for 6 weeks on a robot that would lead them into competing for the first time at the Robotics World Championships.
It's kind of all of this culminating together, and like we finally get to see St. Louis, see all of the elite teams we've heard about for 3 years, you know. So, and it's, I mean, we built this, you know, so it's kind of like we get to show it off to the world.
Seeing the time and effort we've put into the robot and seeing our entire team go to competition, it's an amazing experience.
The 119-pound robot was completely designed by students and mostly constructed in-house. Team members worked in subcommittees to better understand certain parts of the robot and be quicker at making modifications as needed.
It's really cool to see that this year, the amount of hard work that we did just with prototyping and trying out different things and testing out more things and learning how to CNC is a really great experience.
As their competing robot was already on its way to competition, the 35-person team practiced with their second one to be ready.
Right now our main priority is instituting the changes that we've worked on since our last competition, and then getting our drivers to practice running the robot with these new changes, get used to it so that when we go to competition we can perform as well as possible.
While for many, winning first place is the ultimate goal, For some, attending the world competition is already a win within itself.
To me, I don't feel there's really a winning. The winning experience is being able to go to championships and just experience the time with other people.
FRC Team 4201 will be competing against 600 teams when they arrive to St. Louis. For HCTV, I'm Jennifer Murillo.
To find out more about the team and how they did, visit facebook.com/FRC Team 4201, the Vitruvian Bots. This year will be Hawthorne's 13th annual 5K run and walk. The event will take place on Saturday, May 9th, which coincides with Mother's Day. The 5K will also be in conjunction with the 20th annual Hawthorne Health Fair. The event will feature informational booths, free health screenings, music and entertainment, as well as plenty of raffle prizes. The 5K run and walk will be held at Hawthorne Memorial Park, located at 3901 West El Segundo Boulevard, on the corner of Prairie and El Segundo. For more information, call 310-978-4357. Keep it right here on Channel 22 for these future city news stories. We'll see how these youth are seeking opportunities for employment. Also, community members come together for a spiritual gathering. Plus, we'll bring all the sights and sounds of this year's Healthy 5K run and walk. That does it for this edition of City News. Thanks for watching. If you have any story ideas, please call us at 310-349-1630. Don't forget, you can watch City News online at youtube.com and search for Hawthorne Community Television. We'll leave you now with more footage from Relay for Life. See you next time.